This right here is a wireless microphone from Sony. It's called the ECM-S1. And this microphone is tiny. I'm actually using it right now to record this audio, and it's wirelessly sending a signal over there to my camera with the little MI hot shoe mount that you put on top of the camera. So I could set this microphone down right here, talk to this camera, and I'm gonna get crystal clear audio that sounds really good. Now from the outside, this microphone system looks super simple, but there's a lot of features packed into this that makes it super useful for a wide range of creators. And so in this video, I wanna go through all of the features that you have in this microphone, and you also get a chance to hear what it sounds like because I'm recording this entire video using this microphone. So just to start off, this style of microphone is meant to be used in a variety of ways. It could be used for a podcast, it could be used for voiceover work, it could be used to shoot an interview, or anytime that you need a microphone and you don't want to have it on yourself and you don't want to have it on the camera. So you don't want to use like a wireless lav or a shotgun mic on the camera. This gives you the capability to have a microphone anywhere, whether it's mounted up high, down low, just sitting here on the desk. And it just gives you a different option when you're recording your audio. Now for me, I used to use the Rode pod mic, and you see I have it set up right here. I have this for my voiceover, which I have the pod mic going into my Zoom H4n, which this thing is archaic. I had this back in college. Still works. And so this whole setup, I'm gonna reduce to basically just using this, and I'm gonna use this directly tied into my computer. And so using something like a pod mic, you have to go from an XLR and you have to have that adapted to whatever you're using unless your camera can input an XLR. Now for the ECM-S1, you have a variety of ways that you can connect this microphone. So right now I'm using the microphone in the wireless setting and I'm using it on top of my camera with the MI hot shoe. So this is just a digital connection that automatically goes into my camera. Now you can also use a standard 3.5 connection, or you could use a USB-C and do a digital connection. And you could either run this wireless, which is what I'm doing right now, or if you wanted to plug the microphone directly into your computer using the USB-C, you could use a wired connection. However, the big benefit of this microphone is that you do have this flexibility of having this wireless connectivity. Now you'll find a USB-C and the 3.5 connection on the wireless receiver, and then on the microphone itself, you have a headphone out and you also have a USB-C. And for me, I'm super excited just because of how small and compact this is, and you could hear how good the audio is that I'm getting from it. It's just sitting here off to the side. So you could bring this with you anywhere that you go, and it can pack up easily in your backpack. So if you are someone who's shooting on the road, you want to shoot outside, well, you could use this microphone and you don't have to bring a bunch of cables. All you need is the receiver plugged directly into your Sony camera. Or if you're using a camera that's not a Sony camera, well, you just use one of the other connections and you can use it with any setup that you have. And in terms of weight, this only weighs about 160 grams. So it's super light. Doesn't add a lot to bring with you wherever you're going. And inside this microphone, you have 3 14mm capsules. And the way that they have these capsules set up gives you a range of ways to pick up your audio. So if you look on the back of this microphone, there's 3 polar pickup patterns. The one I'm using is the top, the one that's in front of the microphone. So it's getting audio from whoever's sitting in front of this microphone. So to just give you a quick sample, I'm gonna turn this microphone around. You're gonna hear the audio change because I'm in that top pickup pattern. But I'm gonna pull this down to omnidirectional. Now you're gonna hear me clean anywhere that I spin this microphone because it's gonna pick up a 360 pattern around the microphone. And yes, you might hear a little bit more ambience because it's picking up a 360 environment, but you could talk on any side of this mic and it's gonna sound good. And the last mode on the bottom is stereo. So it gives you a more rich, full sound when you're recording your audio. So I'm gonna put it back in that first pickup pattern, set it right here on the desk, and I could basically forget it. Now you also have some filters available in this microphone. You have a low cut filter and you also have a noise canceling filter. And it's the same filters that you'll find on all of Sony's microphones if you use the little shotgun mics that go directly into your Sony camera. Now on the side of this microphone, you'll see 2 dials. The top one is gonna control the microphone. So it goes from 1 to 10, and it depends on how loud you need to pick up the audio. Now the really cool thing about this microphone is you'll see right on the front your levels. And so you always have a visual indication of how loud the audio is. And you'll see that it goes from white to orange to red when you're recording too high. So it's just like what you would find on your camera. And it's great to have that right there on the front because it's a quick visual indication to see, is my audio too low or is it too high? And I could turn it up if my audio is too low. And then if my audio is way too high, I can bring it down right to where I need it. So just when it's hitting into that orange. and now it's going to sound great. Now there's a second dial underneath the volume that you can press in, and then you could change the volume of your headphone out. Now also on the front of this, there is a mute button. So if you ever need to mute this microphone, there's a button right here on the front that you can mute it. Now this uses a Bluetooth connection between the microphone and the receiver. And if you have a clear line of sight, you can go up to 500 feet away. Now this microphone comes with a few accessories, and you can see that I have the pop filter on as I'm talking. But you can easily remove this, and you don't need to use this if you're not worried about having pops in your sound. Now also the bottom of this microphone is removable. So on the bottom there's a 1/4-20, or you use the stand that Sony provides, which gives you the ability to kind of adjust the microphone around wherever you have it seated. However, because of that 1/4-20 on the bottom, you could use this microphone in a wide range of situations, and you can mount it to pretty much anything. And the last thing is battery life. So the microphone with a full charge can last up to 13 hours. And you could also just plug in the microphone using a USB-C and then just have continuous power. And the receiver will last up to 3 hours. However, if you plug the receiver into your camera or a computer, it's going to take a charge from that, and you never have to worry about the receiver running out of power. However, it only works for 3 hours if you don't have it powered in any way. Overall, this is a super simple system with a lot of flexibility. And when I first heard about this microphone, I thought it might be an okay system, but after using it to make a few videos, this is actually something that I'm super excited about. And this microphone that I'm currently using, I have to send back to Sony. This was just a sample they let me borrow, but as soon as they're available, I'm gonna purchase one of these, and I'm gonna replace a lot of my different setups by just using this microphone, because this is gonna be the perfect tool to do my voiceover work here in my office. Also just record these videos here. I don't have to have the boom mic overhead that I normally use with the cable running over to the camera and run my audio that way. I could just have this microphone set wherever I need to go. And especially when I change locations, I can bring this with me if I'm traveling or if I'm shooting outdoors. Sometimes I'll shoot just at a table, and whenever I'm doing that, it makes it really easy to set this anywhere. And because of the direct connection with my Sony camera, it just simplifies the entire process. Now, one thing that I hope to see in a future iteration of this microphone would be a backup recorder in the microphone itself, because whenever you have a wireless connection, there's always a chance that you might have a dropout or there might be some weird interference that happens. And as a solo creator, I'm not sitting there monitoring the audio with headphones on, so I don't know if I always have perfect audio. Now, since I've been using this microphone, it's working great. However, having a backup recorder is just a peace of mind, especially when I'm doing something like this, or if I'm doing an interview with someone and I want to make sure I always have clean audio and make sure I never miss anything that's said. However, even without a backup recorder built into this, this is definitely a product that I'm going to be using moving forward, and I'm super excited about the ECM-S1. If you want to see more information about it, I'll put a link down below in the description. And next, check out this video right here, which goes through all the settings that I use when I'm out filming with my Sony cameras to get the best look out of any situation. I'll see you over there.